Can you believe that this meal was 950 calories while this meal was only 450 calories? That's a 500 calorie difference. And if you do that every day for the course of a week, that's a whole pound of weight loss in a 1 week, meaning 4 to 5 pounds of weight loss every month from changing one meal. Losing weight and reducing your calorie intake does not have to mean that you're eating less or feeling hungry all the time. And in this video, I'm gonna show you what I feel is the most important and impactful method that you can apply to losing weight. Now, there are a lot of different strategies and approaches to weight loss, and this is a very valuable tool that I believe you can implement regardless of what approach you are taking. And it's not that complicated. To put it simply, we're gonna find alternatives that are lower in calorie that we can swap in to replace higher calorie things. But at the same time, we're gonna be looking at this as an addition factor and eating more. So we're gonna focus on eating more protein and more high fiber foods. So fruits and vegetables and other plant foods. This is gonna allow us to increase the volume of the food that we are eating while reducing the calories and increasing our feeling of fullness. I'm not saying that you have to eat something that you don't enjoy, but there are simple things that we can do to reduce the calories in a meal and still have it taste great. And it doesn't mean that every single meal has to be drastically different than what you're used to, but one small swap in each meal can make a huge difference. I'm not gonna tell you that you can no longer eat certain things, but maybe reduce the amount that you're eating them or swap them out every once in a while and save it for more of a special occasion. So this first meal has a large sausage that is high in fat. It has some hash browns that are cooked in some butter, and it has some whole eggs, 4 whole eggs. I did just cook one of them over easy so that, I could use the runny yolk to have somewhat of a sauce on the hash browns without adding extra calories in a sauce. And so despite only adding a little bit of butter, about half a tablespoon of butter to this meal, it ended up still being about 950 calories and not very filling. It doesn't look like very much on the plate. Whereas this meal that I'm gonna show you how to make today is going to be a lot of food and leave you feeling very full for only 450 calories. So there's gonna be a lot of substitutions in this meal compared to the other meal, and you don't have to make dramatic changes to an entire meal, but making small substitutions to each meal throughout the day or to your snacks throughout the day can add up to a lot. And I'm just showing you that all it takes is one meal to have a dramatic impact on your weight loss journey. So first, I am going to use a little bit of olive oil, not quite a teaspoon for the start of this because I already have some other oil that I'm using for different portions. So all in total, it's going to be 1 teaspoon of oil. And that is going to help limit, rather than using lots of butter or lots of oil, keeping it to small amounts is going to help reduce the calorie intake quite a lot. So instead of having the potatoes as a side for this, I'm going to be using vegetables, and that's going to have some carbohydrates, but also it's going to add a lot of volume to the meal to make us feel full. And because it's high in fiber, it's going to keep us full a lot longer. So we're going to do a whole red pepper, 1 whole red pepper, and about 1/4 of an onion. And then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic as well a little bit later. So we're just gonna get that mixed in with the oil a little bit, and then we're gonna let that cook so that the peppers soften up for us here. I already cooked up my extra lean ground chicken, and that's gonna replace our sausage and save us a bunch of calories. We're also gonna be able to add a lot more of this compared to the sausage in the other meal. And to season this, I just use salt, pepper, and paprika, and that's gonna give us a nice little taste there. So it's cold now. We're gonna add it to the pan a little bit later. And then instead of whole eggs, we are going to be using egg whites. Now, if you wanna do like a half and half mix, you can do that. Just each whole egg is gonna add a little bit more calories, but this will allow us to dramatically reduce the calories as well, but also give us a great source of protein. Now that the peppers are softening up a little bit, we're going to add in the garlic. So it's about one clove of garlic there. And then we're going to add some salt and pepper. Now you might be thinking this is a very low carb meal. What if you want to have some carbs in it? Well, the 450 calories for this meal includes a full cup of blueberries, and you can swap out blueberries for a different berry, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, and it'll be fairly similar in calories. and that is going to give you a nice additional amount of carbs to give you, that boost of energy and allow you to have maybe a better workout if that's what you're going to be doing after this meal, or just to make sure you're replenishing your glycogen stores. And now that that's cooked in a little bit, we are going to add the spinach. Now, you can add a lot of spinach. It's really good for you, and it adds a lot of volume to the meal, a lot of healthy fiber and micronutrients, which are essential for you to feel healthy and well and perform at your peak. And it's gonna give us a lot of that fiber that's gonna keep us full after the meal. So we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna roughly estimate it because the small amount of difference that it might be is not gonna have a dramatic impact. But I've allotted about 3 cups of spinach, and that is hardly any calories. It's a very minute amount of calories, but it's gonna give us that volume and help us to feel full and that fullness to last longer, so you don't feel like you need a snack right away. So we're gonna allow that to, we're gonna mix this in and allow it to wilt a little bit. All right, this is starting to look really good. I decided to add a little bit of paprika to the vegetables as well, because I don't think that the paprika that's on the chicken is gonna come through enough once it's all mixed together. Now, this is looking great. I'm gonna bring you over so that you can get a better look at the pan here. A lot of color in this dish. This is like, if you can start your day like this every day, you're gonna be saving yourself on a lot of calories, and you're gonna be getting a large amount of the needed micronutrients that you need. And this is just like a great habit to start getting used to, is focusing on where you're getting your fiber, and that's gonna allow you to get the micronutrients in your meal, but the fiber is just so important for gut health and for keeping you full throughout the day. All right, this is extra lean ground chicken with just some seasonings on it. And we're gonna add this back to the pan as it's already kind of cold. We're gonna give it a little bit of time to warm up, and then we'll add the egg whites. So we're just gonna mix that in with the veggies here so that it has some time to heat up. And that's gonna be a great source of protein. That's gonna be over 25 grams of protein in that 100 grams of chicken, and then we're gonna get another 30 grams of protein from the egg whites. So this is gonna be well over 50 grams of protein, and with less than 500 calories, that's pretty darn good. So there we go, that's mixed in quite nice. And this would be a good base for a lot of different meals if you wanted to do this on, add a little bit of like pasta sauce and put this on top of spaghetti or something. Or even just this as like a stir fry and then put it on top of rice. This would be a great base, and then you can swap out different things here and there to change it up a little bit. And if you can find like a general mix of things that you enjoy and then just make small changes and add it to different types of meals, that makes it so much easier to stick to a healthy eating plan and it really optimize your nutrition. So now that this has had a little bit of time to warm up the chicken, we're going to grab our egg whites here. And we're gonna do 1 cup of egg whites, and I'm just gonna pour it over top and allow it to kind of cook together somewhat like an omelet. It's not gonna have quite as much egg white volume to like fully envelop everything. I'm not sure I'll be able to flip it like an omelet because, again, not enough egg whites, but we'll see how it turns out. And if I need to, I'll just kind of scramble it all together and we'll go with that. All right, so we let that cook on low heat for a little while, hoping that it would cook through enough that we can flip it. I'm not sure that it's going to work, but we're gonna give it a try and hopefully it'll turn out nice. So that didn't work at all. So that didn't quite work, but we've got all the parts of it flipped and we'll just have to take a B or C grade on presentation for this video. We're just gonna let the other side of that cook for about a minute and then we're gonna plate it. All right, so now that it's cooked through, we're going to slide it off onto the plate here. Again, unfortunately, we're taking a B grade for presentation, but hopefully we can put this puzzle somewhat back together. And it's all the same once it gets in your stomach anyways, right? So, but look at how much food is on the plate. And we still have our 1 cup of blueberries that you still get to eat with this. So that looks like a whole lot more food than the other meal that we discussed in the beginning of the video. And it's gonna taste pretty freaking good too. So here it is, and I don't quite have 1 cup of blueberries, but you know, like I said, 1 full cup of blueberries is included in this meal for only 450 calories. You can make little tweaks to this if you're not needing to cut the calories quite that much. You can put a little bit of cheese on top or some salsa to have that little added, flavor or whatever it is that you are looking for in the meal. But this is a lot of food and it's gonna help me feel full for quite some time. Now, if you're looking for maybe a meal prep meal that you can make to have in your freezer for the lunch or breakfast or dinner that you just don't have the time but want a healthy meal, I'm gonna link that video up here. I'm also gonna link a video on what I did to help get lean, lose body fat while also building muscle and getting stronger at the same time. So if you're interested, check that one out as well. And I hope to see you in the next video.